All right.
Reminds me of the novel, The Sign of the Seahorse.
Oh, really? There's a
The
novel?
children's book. Yeah, it's a Caldecott. But anyway, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. We're live. We're live. Let's see. Here's someone. We're live. FIABCI First Fridays. Welcome, everyone. It's great to see people already coming in. Remember, when you come in, to put in your name and your information in the chat. We all love to know who's in the audience, and we want to share our information and listings that you have, because remember, that's what this is all about. FIABCI is about networking and doing business together. And that's what I had in mind when I created the show. I guess it's 3 years ago during the pandemic. And for those of you who don't know, I'm Vivian Spitelsky. I'm in Miami, Florida. I'm a luxury and commercial broker with Charter Realty Partners, a small boutique firm. And I'm happy to be here with you again. And now we changed it to once a month. It used to be every Friday. Now it's the first Friday of every month, as the name implies. So we have some great guests today, particularly, actually my list, I'm going to introduce you to Hugh Gilliam and also Alex. Alex, how do I pronounce your last name, please? I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, it's Ryzek.
Ryzek. Okay, I would have said Ritzek, but okay.
I'll take it.
Anyways,
that sounds way cooler anyways.
We have Hugh Gilliam, who's one of our past FIABCI USA presidents. He's here from Atlanta, and has a fantastic international network called Global Realty Pros and Global Property Pros, and that's part of Realty Hive, which Alex is going to tell us about. It's the most fantastic way to market your listings internationally and as a tool for selling your listings. Like I said, I have my listing on her, and it was amazing the exposure I got. So, and then actually, I'm going to be talking about my new business venture at the second half of the show. For those of you who don't know me, I've gotten back into my roots in hospitality, and I now have a sailboat where I run luxury yacht charters in the Virgin Islands, and I have some other ideas, but I'll tell you later on. So let's start with Alex. Do we have a good amount of people in the audience? Should we start, or should we wait a little bit more, Edwina?
I think we're good to go. Yes.
Anyways, it gets recorded anyways. And so remember, if you miss any part of these shows, you can always go to Facebook and to YouTube. The FIABCI USA News and all of these shows are archived there for your reference. So hello.
Hello, Alex Ryzek. No, Alex Ryzek, out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I am an active real estate agent with McCauley Real Estate. It's kind of a small boutique around here. But we also launched a global real estate marketing portal, and that's Realty Hive. And it's kind of the basis for where Hugh came in, and we started the Global Property Pros. But the Realty Hive is kind of the backbone behind everything with the listing portal. So as we have gone through this year, we're taking in feeds from MLSs across the United States. Be probably 500,000 listings throughout the United States, and just continuing to grow. And we're taking in international feeds as well. So we're about to pull in about 400,000 listings from kind of Europe and those areas into Canada a little bit. And we have listing feeds in Belize, British Virgin Islands that we're working on right now, and another 800 or so are probably going to come in like the Cyprus type of market soon. So, you know, as we grow, it helps every single person with their listings, getting additional views, expanding the reach. And our website probably right now gets just over 2 million visitors to it. So the listings are getting exposure from that standpoint. We have marketing upgrades, which Vivian was talking about, and that can be found within your dashboard, along with all the marketing statistics behind it. So Realty Hive connected with Hugh Gilliam, and I'm probably going to kind of pass the baton over to him. But with his knowledge and expertise, and meeting him in New York, one of our team members did, the international and the global platform was a fit for him, and what he wanted to do and bring to the international community. So without further ado, Hugh Gilliam, I'll kind of bring you into the picture now.
Okay, look, thank you, Alex. And I like your last name, Vivian pronounced it. So that's good. Let me say one thing about Vivian first. I know we're limited with time, but I think it was 2020, which was about 3 years ago, she began FIABCI Fridays. And it was a great idea because what it did, it created a community for FIABCI members and other members to come in and talk about their listings, talk about their business, or anything they wanted to discuss with the group at that time. She did it every single Friday, and that was 52 times per year. It takes a lot of work to do a program, and generally she would have 3 guests on the program. So, I mean, she worked tirelessly to do this, and what a great time to do it because it was during the pandemic. And
Exactly.
most people needed that connectivity during that time because we were at home in our home offices and too close to the refrigerator eating and things like that. So we needed the ability to come together as a community and to actually connect. And we'll talk about community in just a minute as far as GPP is concerned. But I also remember I gave her an award as president of our USA chapter for the best programming for that year, 2020, 2021. And she did a great job. And I really appreciate her. And we've been able to connect on a regular basis after that. So I think we've got a great relationship. It all began with FIABCI.
That's right.
It
Some of my
is.
best friends, very, very good friends around the world.
Exactly.
From FIABCI.
And so here's the thing. Sitting where I am today, had it not been for FIABCI, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I'd be in another element doing something different. But in 2010, I joined FIABCI. And I haven't been ashamed of, I mean, I share it every day. I mean, it's just like a good realtor has to have 7 business cards in their pocket every single day and pass those out to different people telling what you do. And sometimes we don't tell what we do. But I was even in Maine this past week, and I can't see everybody on here, but I'm hoping one of my young friends I met there in Maine from Jamaica, I'm hoping he's on because I gave him a card. He started talking about real estate. I sent him a book from Stefano Lucatello in London, who happens to be an attorney there. And I said, because he wants to move to London, I said, look, this is a great connection for you, but you got to plan you've got to plan it. You've got to put the plan together and then execute the plan. So it's about being excited about what we do, having a passion for real estate, but more importantly, connecting with people. So yes, this is a plug also for FIABCI. You need to be telling someone every single day about FIABCI, about how it's affected your life. Now, in 2019, I was in New York City at a symposium, and Vivian, you were there also.
I was there too.
Yeah, you were there. And I looked at the schedule and I saw global marketing, Wade McCauley, Realty Hive. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's exactly who I need to speak with after the show or after the symposium. Because in the interim, what I had done, I joined FIABCI in 2010, but in 2013, I started an international magazine called Doorways International. And we still do it on a monthly basis. We were doing it quarterly then. But so I was even at that time, trying to reach out into the globe and trying to pull in, international people that I could work with, that I could show my listings to, that I could show other people's listings to through that magazine. So Wade got up and did a fantastic job about Realty Hive and about the marketing process. And so I thought, this guy, I really need to meet him and need to talk to him. So I did. And several weeks later, he called and we had a couple of conversations. And it wasn't that I was a little bit leery about going with Realty Hive and being a part of it, but I had so much invested here in the Atlanta area with our current brokerage. But I made the decision, I'm going to go with Realty Hive because I need to be with a company that understands who I am and what I do. And so he began, along with his team, Alex, Amanda, Jamie, Laura, all these great team members there at Realty Hive. We started talking about what can we do for the real estate agents and brokers out there in the world to bring them together on a common platform. They need to be have the same mindset we do in terms of wanting to grow. They need to have the depth of knowledge to be able to come into the system and understand why we're doing certain things. They need to understand also that we can't just go list a property in another country. There are rules and regulations about what you can and can't do. But so we started thinking about a platform for individuals that would help them and grow a community. And the fact is, with FIABCI, there are 224 members today. Each one of these 24 members, you have a free membership to be a part of Global Property Pros. And if you haven't elected to go in, please, I mean, you're missing a great opportunity. And what you should do, once you get into that platform, you have a dashboard. And within that dashboard, you put your picture up, you put your bio up, you can self-load your listings. And then you start on social media, a campaign about, I'm a part of this group and this is what I do. And here are some of my listings. I mean, it's about letting people know what you do. I think too often you can go in and you can get a designation, be a global realtor, you can get that. But if you don't utilize it and tout that title and tell people what you do, you'll never get a return on your investment. So I think with what we've done with Global Property Pros is create a community. Go back to the word community. And Vivian, you started that community with like-minded individuals who want to learn about the world, about globe, about the things that are going on globally, to learn how to conduct themselves in another country, and also be able to showcase listings. And to be able, the most important thing too, is to be able to receive your leads, and we're not selling those back to you. We're not selling those leads back to you. I mean, I've gone into this other organization before and I spent $2,500 a month buying leads,
Yeah.
which were zero.
Zero, exactly.
Yeah, zero return.
So I found that's an amazing feature of that you have, that you're not really selling us to leads. You're just, it's the way you've structured is it's very reasonable.
Exactly.
Hugh, would you like me to share the screen so we can kind of have something to point
Yeah,
at?
that would be great to have a visual.
Yeah, if you would do that, because we're going to show some examples right now.
No, and then also Hugh, you've offered it to all FIABCI members to have our listings on it for free. I mean,
It's
how good is
free.
that? In fact, I was paying last year and then you said, no, I canceled your, your fee because you're a free, it's for free for FIABCI members. So I was willing to pay for it and he was generous enough to give it to us.
It's a free membership. So what you're looking at, Alex, you can go ahead and explain. This is your dashboard that you're looking at.
Yeah, let me I'll back up a little bit. So this is the RealtyHub website. This is the dashboard. And if I click on client listings, these are either ones or listings that I have in the system, and they're either upgraded or they're not upgraded into a marketing program. And you can see all of those right here. And I have one example I wanted to bring up. So this is just kind of a standard regular property around the greater Green Bay, Wisconsin marketplace. And we upgraded this to Marketing Matters as an example. And what you get here is, impressions from advertisement that we're running as the company all time this month. Direct views on the property, we just started this month off. So those are low, but they're catching up. And then you get a heat map with information on countries that we're getting the most views from, cities that are getting most views from. Howard and De Pere are kind of surrounding areas for Green Bay, and then obviously Chicago. The heat map you can move around, zoom in and out of if you want to get a little bit more information on it. But these are where IP addresses are pinging from the buyers that are looking at the property on RealtyHive. So it's great data. You can then take and share this over to your client if you want to give them some insight. I know that, a seller that doesn't have an offer in 3 days today is, very more antsy maybe than they were 6 months or a year ago. So giving those buyers those sellers is as much data and insight into what's going on is kind of crucial. When we look over on the left side of the screen in your dashboard, there's a button that's Global Property Pros. And this right here is my profile. And what it does is it takes and links in all of the listings that I have. So this can be a pretty cool listing tool. All the deals that are being worked on from you as an agent automatically show up here. You got a bio, information about yourself, and then direct links to social media. But like Hugh was talking about, that big piece of Global Property Pros member is what makes you stand out when you're doing or sending this out on Facebook or running a campaign for yourself as a listing tool, or even, you know, sharing this ahead of a listing appointment. It just
Exactly.
makes you stand out a little bit, and it's all kind of wrapped up into one place. So you know, we feel it's pretty cool from a listing tool perspective.
Well, let me say this too. When you go in, and can you go back to the map, the heat map?
Yes, sir.
When you go into a listing, and well, first of all, this is consumer faced. So, you know, you're going to get direct leads from consumers that are interested in your listing. Number two, when you take it into a listing appointment and you sit down and you've got your business together, basically, when you sit down and say, okay, here's my most recent listing, and this shows the number of impressions, this shows the number of direct views. When you do that, I mean, that's pretty darn impressive. And let me tell you this, I've got a listing that at 47 days on the market, it's $7.8 million. 47 days on the market, I had 651,000 impressions. I had 11,598 direct views. The top three countries were the US, Canada, and India. And then I generated 7 leads within that period of 47 days, 3 that were financially capable to purchase a property of that magnitude.
How great is that?
And 2 actually came to the site. One guy had a $10 million, I mean, he had $10 million in cash in his Merrill Lynch account that he hadn't invested yet. So that's a great opportunity, because we do a pre-qualification on everyone before we send out financial information or anything like that. But so that happened to me. That's just not a story out there. That happened to me. And it made a believer out of me on day one when I first joined the company, because I had I had a wedding venue, 160 acres, that went pretty rapidly because of the activity that we had in advertising. And of course, it's an upgrade to Marketing Matters. You can have this heat map and you can see the activity, but if you go up one notch, and that's for regular membership, and you go with Marketing Matters, then that's when they start putting out, and you can talk about these ads, about specific ads, Alex, how they package it up and send it out.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see a demonstration of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have a good example here, and it's really because they're dynamic, right? So this particular property, it's just over $3 million. It's a 30,000 square foot office building in Green Bay. Well, what the marketing team at Realty Hive does when we start to put together ads is, okay, what's the buyer profile for this property? Who's it going to be? And it's not, you know, an individual that needs to be targeted who makes $100,000 a year. It's a CEO, it's a REIT, it's a specific type of buyer based on location, property type, and price. And those ads, they're dynamic, where they're changing all the time. It has different information based on who the buyer is and who they're trying to get in front of. So it's not something that I can kind of just pull up and here's what it looks like. It goes out based on the buyer profile, where they're viewing the property. Here you can see examples. You know, it'll be on social media. It'll be on where those buyer profiles are likely to visit and which websites they're likely to be on. So they kind of, you know, they're all over the place. Now, one other kind of cool piece about this is this particular property, everybody knows LoopNet, right? Well, not everybody has a membership to upload listings there. Well, what we do is we know this property should be on LoopNet. So if it's not already there, we'll take it and upload it to those websites under our subscriptions, so that it's making sure to get the most exposure possible.
That's great. So what other what other, for instance, commercial, do you upload to Crexy or what other major
Yeah, like, well, for
platforms do
example,
you use?
yeah, good question. So there is a company called Juwai as an example. That's more of like an Asian
Asian.
facing one, and it just depends on if the buyer profile matches someone coming from those areas. So it really, there's no limits on what it is, but it's based on who that person is, where they're likely to be viewing that property.
What I love also is this goes directly, as Hugh says, goes directly to the consumer. These are people browsing for properties.
Yes.
That's exactly right. And even
Yeah.
with the $7 million listing that I have, it went into, it's more of a business, and it went into um, like biz buy sell or something like that. We've gotten a lot of, and then land, also under land sales, another listing that organization that just primarily is about land, about selling land. So I've gotten leads from those also. But I feel like that what we've got here is definitely the vehicle to get the listings out there. And as far as being with FIABCI and the depth of knowledge we have there, we definitely need for all FIABCI members to do this and be a part of the organization, because when we get into the community part, as we were talking about, then there's going to be a platform there. We're going to show you this, a platform where you can pull down educational components. We have 6 educational programs put together right now that will be releasing sometime in December, which were built for global property pros. We have podcasts that are out there currently, and in a bank full of those right now, and a few more that we're going to start doing in the next few weeks. But about things like investing in foreign property, purchasing in Italy, the impact of the currency exchange, immigration. I mean, that's a big one. I had an immigration attorney come into the studio, and we talked about immigration. Where do we go from here? I mean, there's a lot of good, solid information that you can learn from your community. And then the second thing is the membership that we have with FIABCI currently. I mean, they have a depth of knowledge that they need to be sharing within the community. I mean,
Yeah, I
so
agree.
it's not just about us spoon feeding people. It's about getting information from you, the FIABCI member. And the FIABCI members have more knowledge than most people on the street today. I mean, they really do. And we need input from them.
I would agree, Hugh, and I'm going to go and show the community that you're describing in 1 second. I just wanted to say this one last piece. As we, as Realty Hive, continue to grow and pull in more feeds, if we come into your area and we pull in the MLS feed that your listings are in, those will automatically be brought into your dashboard, so you can see them under the client listings. If we aren't there yet, or you have listings, or you're helping market properties, and I'm thinking of a development as an example over in another country, but you want to showcase that property, you can go to right in your dashboard, self-load, add a property. It's free if you're a FIABCI member or a GPP member, but free because you're a FIABCI member. And you can run through and add a property directly through this dashboard. Add the photos, description, what it is, video if there is any, and we'll publish that out, and you'll be the agent that has brought that there. So just wanted to go ahead.
It was amazing that you have the Miami MLS and you were pulled
Yep.
my listing in. I didn't do anything. All I did was give you the listing number, the ID number, and boom.
We do.
Yep.
And
It's up there.
if I'm correct,
so
22 more states fairly soon.
I mean, that's
yeah,
huge.
and Vivian, just you did a great job. Thank you for telling me that. But it automatically comes over and is put into your dashboard as soon as you have it listed. The feed will refresh once a night around midnight, and then your property will just automatically show up. You don't even have to send me a message in the future because we now are in that market. So
Okay.
I'm going to jump over here, Hugh, if you're ready, and talk about this, which is our community that Hugh keeps on mentioning. And this is the newest feature, which is currently in beta, but we're excited to roll it out here before year end.
Let's see.
So Hugh, if you want to kind of
Well,
give a rundown or thought process behind why we're bringing this to the table.
Well, we go back and I know Vivian's got to have her time, and I'll try to cut this short. We
Oh,
we had the marketing piece put together, which is really good. It works great, and we're very pleased with it. But we needed that community. We needed the community so we could come together and have our membership within one group to go in and access the educational component, to access other members, to ask questions, to chat, to if they had a win or something like that they wanted to share with the group. Hey, I sold a $10 million listing 2 days ago, and I did it in a quick time frame because of the marketing here. We want to hear about that. If you've got a listing that's $10 million or more, we want to hear about that. There's a castle in Belgium right now that one of our FIABCI members overseas listed that.
that's
We
juices, huh?
Yeah. We have another castle from Germany that who was it? Crystal in Florida. She listed that. So there's a lot. You look on the left-hand side, you can go through, you can pick out what you want to pick out. There's a repository there for every podcast that's been done. The educational component there, as I said, we have 6 individual classes that were actually built for us for GPP, and this is going to be phenomenal. It really
That's
is,
great.
and you got to be part of it.
Yeah, and the thing with the $10 million deals is this is an example where people call into Realty Hive, and there's 4 hotels valued at $200 million in Belize, and 1 hotel valued at about 50 million. And excuse me, it's Brazil, the 4 hotels at 200 million, and Colombia, there's 1. And the owner wants to sell the properties, but he's not going to list it just because of,
Privacy issues.
the privacy, and doesn't want his employees walking out and all of those pieces, but he still is trying to connect and find a deal. Well, this right here is a great place because those deals are all over the place. Everybody probably has, at least they know of someone that has one, but they can't list it. But if they bring a buyer, the guy's going to pay a hefty commission. And someone within this community likely knows people that run and work with hotels. And it's just a great way to come in with the privacy, with the ability to share things like this to our community.
So listen, Vivian, thank you so much for having us on today. We appreciate
Well,
you.
I mean, thank you also because you sponsor FIABCI First Friday. So, and you're also, you give a lot back to us, Hugh.
We sponsor it because we believe in FIABCI. And there's Dagmar. Dagmar Sands is the one that brought me into FIABCI.
Hi, Dagmar.
Back in 2010, a 1987 member, and there's Eugenia.
And yes, Eugenia, who's also our past USA president, and I believe she's sitting on our international board, right, Eugenia?
That's right, she is.
Yes.
And then Don Green, who is the newest member, and I got to meet him.
Oh, hi, Don.
In Denver.
Hello.
Just recently. So anyway, it's going to be and I can't see the name there, but somebody just waved, and
That's Georgie. He moved to the Florida Keys. He's just south of me.
Okay. He sent me
hi guys. I'm from FIABCI Ukraine.
Yeah, you sent me a text yesterday.
I'm board member of FIABCI Ukraine. So nice to be here.
Glad
nice
to have
to
you
see
here.
you. Thank you guys.
But just so you know, he sent me a message a couple of months ago saying, hey, I'm here. So that's what we do also. Remember, wherever you go in the world or in the USA, and if there's a FIABCI member, you can with they're your family. You can text them before, call them before, and they will always receive you very warmly. I can vouch for that.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, though.
That's right.
Anyways.
So you've got the floor now, Vivian.
All right. Well, I'm going to first let me share my screen. I'll put my website. Let's see. Sharing. That's my. How come I don't see? No, that's Facebook. You see, now when it comes for me to do it. Oh, no.
You want me to tell them about it? Because
I'll tell them about it, but I had my maybe if I do here. Anyways, so
take a breath. It's fine.
What?
Take a
Take a
breath, it's
breath.
fine.
Okay, I'm supposed to share my screen. Now, here is my website. Here we go.
Yeah, it's coming up now.
Is it coming up? Okay. So for those of you that don't know, so I've been in real estate now, what, 8 years, 9 years, but way back in my 20s, I won't tell you how old I am now, but I used to own a catering company. So my passion has always been food, entertaining, hospitality, and everything and I love to sail. That's one thing that my ex-husband, besides our children, he and a lot of other things, but he installed in me a love of sailing because we had a sailboat and we sailed all around the world. So it's a big passion. So a couple of years ago, I met my partner, and he's been in the Caribbean. He's also Hugh, and he's been in the Caribbean for 20 years after having a long corporate career. And finally, he decided, I've had enough. I'm going to the Caribbean. So he's been doing luxury yacht charters. And when we started dating, one of his chef got sick with COVID, and he said, "Hey, Vivian, do you want to come be a chef?" And that's what I do, right? I've done that for 30 years it's like nothing for me. And imagine for 6 people, that's a breeze when I'm used to catering for, 30, 40, 50 people. It was nothing for me. So I went and did it, and I loved it. I loved the combining sailing, combining my passion for food and entertaining. And people, after a week, they're so happy having had one of the best vacations of their lives, okay, frankly, because being on a sailboat in the Virgin Islands or St. Bart's or wherever is just fantastic vacation. So then basically I became partners with him, and I ended up buying this yacht that you see here, which is a beautiful 63-foot Veneto Oceanus yacht, monohull sailboat. So we actually sail. It's not, it's become very popular to have catamarans, which are the ones that are very big, like a big apartment, which are very comfortable and beautiful, but it's not really your true sailing experience. So that's one of the, and here I have my website is Yacht Serena. And so we offer 1 week all-inclusive sailing vacations. And that means all-inclusive means all meals and food and drink, everything, including a captain and a chef, which is him and me. And by the way, he's a chef too, and he's quite a good chef. And so that includes for 1 week, all inclusive for up to 6 people. But I bought a piece of land in the Virgin Islands, and I'm also going to be building a boutique hotel. Here you can see the view from my property. It's 1.5 acres on an island called Water Island, which is the least known of the Virgin Islands. And to the left, you can see a prototype. Mine aren't going to be that specific one, but it's a luxury glamping tent. And so I'm going to have a boutique hotel with glamping tents. And I've also recently decided that I'm going to open a culinary school on the same site. So these are all projects. That's going to be called Villa Serena. My yacht is called Yacht Serena, Serena Yacht Charters. And so I'm also going to get my license in the Virgin Islands. So pretty soon you'll have someone, that's me and Hugh, Captain Hugh. This is when we were in Fort Lauderdale. We sailed 9 days down to the Virgin Islands. We arrived last week. So now the sailboat is in the Virgin Islands. And in fact, we're exhibiting, I'll show you this. Next week, we're exhibiting at this USVI charter yacht show. And this is where yacht charter brokers go. It's not open to the public. They're the ones that refer to us. They refer our yachts to their clients who are booking vacations, and they receive a commission for booking our yacht. And we're actually very pleased because no one even knows this yet. And we already have 6 or 7 bookings confirmed, which is really unheard of. It's a really great reception we've had because our yacht is like one of the biggest monohull. There are no 63-foot big sailboats like that in the Virgin Islands or the British Virgin Islands. And people that love to sail love to be on a real sailboat. So anyway, so I hope if you guys want to go on vacation in the Virgin Islands or St. Bart's, let me know. I'll give friends and family discounts. That'll be 20% off. Oh, and by the way, our rates, just for information, in high season, which is from November to May, for up to 6 people, it's $25,000 per week, all inclusive. As I said, all beverages and, high-end beverages, high-end food, everything, all activities. And then low season, which would be June to August, that would be $22,000 a week, all inclusive. So if I give you a 20% discount, then that'll be good. So, and I wanted you to see, you see my seahorse. So my logo is the seahorse because Beneteau is the brand. It's a French, very well-known French manufacturer of cruising yachts and also motor yachts. But so then I have a friend of mine who does branding for Ritz-Carlton and everything. And he created, I said, why don't you create a logo for me that incorporates the seahorse? So he created a big seahorse. And as you can see, I had it painted on the sails there's like a huge seahorses on my sails. So people can see us from very far away. So I'm very excited about all of this. And thanks for, Edwina is not here anymore, but it was her idea for me to share what I'm doing. And it's exciting, you know, and one other thing, and this is, you know what, you're never too old to do anything you want to do, young ones out there, okay? So if you want to change your career, if you want to do other stuff, just do it, right?
Right.
Okay, everyone, let me see if there are any, I have been talking so much, I haven't seen anything in chat over here. By the way, Water Island is a great island to invest in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Because there's going to be a hotel. There's no hotel. There's only 200 inhabitants. It's 500 square acres. And there's a hotel that's going to be built finally. And after that, you know, it's going to skyrocket. So if you guys or if anyone's interested in investing in the Virgin Islands, let me know. I definitely have my feelers already in. I don't have my license yet because they're a little bit strict. You have to be a resident there, I think 3 or 5 months before you can actually I haven't been living there consecutively for 5 months yet, but now I will be. So anyways, great to see everyone, and I'll see you next month in December. Thank you, Hugh, and thank you, Alex. Thanks
you.
everyone for
Thank
joining
you,
today.
guys. Nice seeing everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Take care.